Welcome back. We are now here with Officer Zach Krise. Thank you so much for being with us. And we are going to take you through an AED demonstration. But before we jump into that, let's talk about the importance of the AED and why would we want to have a device like this nearby us as often as we can.
So during sudden cardiac arrest, the sooner you can start CPR and the sooner you can apply an AED to somebody, the better outcome is achieved.
Awesome. And how would we know we're in a situation and it's time to call for help, call for an AED? Take us through what that scene would look like.
So if you have somebody suddenly pass out, for say, or just fall to the ground, what you're going to do is you're going to look and see if they're breathing, you're going to listen for if they're breathing, and then you're going to check a pulse. And you're essentially going to side of the neck with your two fingers check a pulse, and if they're not breathing and don't have a pulse, that's when we call 911 and then start CPR and ultimately hopefully get to an AED.
Awesome. And let's pretend that, we're in a situation, the person is having cardiac arrest, which take us through maybe the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest.
So the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest, the main difference being during a heart attack, your heart is still beating. During sudden cardiac arrest, it is not.
Correct. So we've come to the scene and there is no heartbeat. So
yes.
Remind me, because I always forget, what is the ratio of compressions to breath?
So nowadays we're actually teaching breathless CPR, so just continuous CPR.
Oh, wow.
Which you're looking at about 100 to 120 beats a minute.
Okay.
Continuous. You're no longer stopping to breathe for the patient. It has been determined through studies that they have about 10 minutes of oxygen in their bloodstream
Wow.
before you need to breathe for them, and hopefully first responders are arriving by that time.
Well, that's really wonderful. It really simplifies the whole process to not have to sit there and think, okay, how many breaths to compression? So when it comes to doing compression, show us what that would look like.
So typically during compressions, what you're looking for is you're looking for the center of the chest, which can kind of be judged by in between the nipples, and then you're looking to compress the chest about 1/3 of the depth of the person, or about 2 inches. And what you're doing is you're just placing one hand on top of the other, you're locking your elbows out, and you're pushing down.
Wow. And I've always heard to be aware that the push has to be pretty dramatic and that you may in fact break a rib. Is that true?
Absolutely. CPR is definitely a traumatic event. It's very common to break cartilage in ribs.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, take me through. How hard would I have to press?
So lock out your elbows.
Okay.
And a little bit deeper.
Oh, my goodness.
And a little bit faster. There you go.
And let's say you're doing this over and over and over and you're getting
Yes.
out of breath. Can you
Yes.
tap someone else in to help?
Absolutely. We use that quite often, where we communicate with partners and even civilians standing by. Hey, I'm getting tired. Can you sub in for me?
Okay.
So.
And it is beneficial. Let's say this is a female and you have to go to the point of needing to utilize the machine and go to that demonstration of what that looks like. What's some steps you can take to maybe offer some privacy?
Definitely get some people gathered around, if there are blankets available or something like that, maybe just have a couple of people stand there and form almost a blanket wall from the general public to the person that is down,
Okay.
just to preserve privacy.
All right. Well, let's do it. How about you take us through the full using an AED?
Okay. So you would go through your process, of course, of, hey, not breathing, no pulse. Somebody would start chest compressions. Now, if you were the first person there, you're going to dial 911 at the same time. We have wonderful speakerphones nowadays, so you're going to dial 911, speakerphone, set it down, and start chest compressions and start yelling for somebody, hey, grab me the AED, grab me the AED. Now, AEDs are very, very self-explanatory. Some of them turn on when you open the lid, others do not.
Okay.
If they do not, you just have to press the power button. Then they're completely automated after that. They're going to tell you what to do. You're going to take your pads, and you're going to apply them as the pictures show, and just very simple.
Okay.
So what you're looking for is you're looking to before grabbing pads and stuff like that, what you're looking to do is remove the clothing from the patient's chest. And that can either be done by just simply removing the shirt, or if the AED comes with a pair of scissors, cutting it off.
Okay.
And you want to expose the bare chest. And then you're looking for other obstacles, such as if they already have a cardiac monitor in place, whether it would be a defibrillator or anything like that. You're looking for medication patches. You're looking for hair. Avoid those obstacles. A lot of AEDs come with razors for removing hair. Or if they have 2 sets of pads, apply a set of pads and rip them off.
Thanks.
As far as water goes, a lot of people are very worried to use AEDs in water. Wipe the patient off if they are just, say, they are just getting out of the shower or something like that.
Okay.
Simply wipe them off. Or if they are in standing water, move them.
So they're not in water for the shock. How about jewelry? Can they have their jewelry on, or should it be removed prior to?
So like necklaces and stuff like that, just ensure that they're out of the way.
Okay.
And as far as people have other pieces of jewelry, just ensure you're not placing the pads over top of them.
Okay. So then where do the pads go? You said the pictures will show.
Yep, the pictures will show. And you just simply ensure that they get a nice grip with their backing. And you just, that's that.
All right, we can kind of hold it up and show everyone the different placements. And then what are some very important reminders before you turn it on and proceed with the shock?
So all AEDs today are automated. They're going to tell you what to do. They're going to say, hey, continue CPR. They're going to advise you when to shock, when to not. You're not going to hurt somebody by applying an AED, and they don't end up needing it because the AED is going to determine the shock.
Amazing.
So you can't shock somebody unless the AED allows you to.
Amazing. And how do the placement of the different sticker pads work if it's a child versus an adult?
So with a child, if you can still place the pads as shown and they're not touching, that's okay. Otherwise, go front and back. So middle of their chest and the middle of their back.
For a child?
Yes.
Okay.
And some AEDs do have child pads and some do not, but you can shock regardless.
All right. Should we go through a demo and show them kind of what it sounds like?
Most certainly. So somebody would be doing CPR right now. Somebody else would have come and applied the AED.
Remove clothing from the patient's chest. Open packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin. Apply pads as shown in the pictures. Open packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin.
These are the training versions, so
Nice.
sometimes they...
Open packet and press pads firmly on skin. Do not touch the patient.
Okay, this is where you do not touch the patient.
Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Shock advised.
And this is where you're really making sure nobody's touching them.
Right.
So you're going to
Press the flashing
visually clear head to toe. You're going to make sure your knees aren't touching them, anything like that. Shocking, shocking, shocking.
shock delivered.
And then what must happen?
CPR.
You're going to continue CPR right away. You can continue CPR as soon as that shock is delivered. So
Immediately, hands
Yep.
on, and show us once more what that really looks like. Wow. And then will the machine tell you when it's time to shock again?
Yes, so it's going to go
Okay.
through the same cycle again. It's going
You
to
just keep
analyze
doing those
them.
compressions until it tells you.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, wow. Well, let's say someone wants to go through an actual training. Where can they find more information?
So they can reach out to the Champlin Police Department. We do provide heart-safe classes. You do not get any sort of certificate with that, but you do get to learn how to do CPR. You can
And-
also reach out to things like the AHA and stuff like that if you are looking and seeking for an actual certificate.
American Heart Association
Yes.
diploma. What if someone or a local business is thinking, I don't have an AED nearby, where can they find one or get one?
A lot of times your local fire departments and your local ambulance services are the ones to go through for that. They're going to have a person you can get in contact with that's going to multiple different options, whether you want to buy one, rent one, etc.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Any last reminders for anyone?
It's very important to do CPR and get the AED on quick. You're not going to get in trouble for attempting to help somebody.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking us through this important aspect of the job.
Most
We
certainly.
appreciate it.